Okay, this might be a long one, but I've been waiting to make this. Hi, everybody. I'm Jamie Tourmaline, and this is how I lost 20 pounds. Let me start by saying trigger warning for anybody who may be dealing with any eating issues or a past of eating disorders, because I'm going to bring up some of those themes and topics. I'm going to be talking about dieting and fitness. So if that is triggering to you, then please just click out of this video. It's better to just protect yourself and to make sure that you're being safe. And I'll give you this time to click out of the video. Okay, so where do I begin? I think I'm gonna start back 2 years ago. It was January 2023, and I felt horrible. I was way too big for my clothes. My clothes felt really tight, and I felt really bloated every time I ate something. I felt like I was on this hamster wheel, like I was trying to work out and I was trying to eat well, but nothing was really working. I also was experiencing difficulties with, like, I guess hormone imbalance and like sleeping issues. So I was just really going through it. I could tell my body was not responding well to just, I guess, the way I was living life. I really don't know. I've never been a really unhealthy person. When I was a kid, I was. But I eat pretty healthy. I guess if anybody else saw me, they would say that I wasn't too big, but I could feel in my body that something wasn't right. And I wanted to make the change for me. It's one thing when you're focused on physical aesthetics and the way that you look, but for me, I was really focused on the way that I was feeling, and I didn't feel good. I would make jokes about how fat I was, and people around me would say, you're not fat, you're not fat. But I knew that I felt horrible. Not even in a self-esteem way. My self-confidence has been a lot better these past couple years than it had been when I was like a teenager. But physically, I felt horrible. And I was going to doctors and asking them what is going on with me. Why can't I lose weight? I thought I had a thyroid issue. I thought I had PCOS. I thought I had something going on. And all my tests came back that I was fine and that everything about me was normal except for my weight. I was, I think, 20 pounds overweight for my height, and it didn't look like a lot the way it was proportioned on me, but I could feel every single one of those pounds. Trigger warning, once again, those who are dealing with eating disorders. When I was younger, I did have an eating disorder, and I was one of those kids that was bullied, and I was called fat and ugly and all that stuff, and I really took it to heart, and it led me to adopt really destructive behaviors in my teenage years, like starving, purging, all of that stuff. And that led me down this whole rabbit hole until my early 20s. I went to therapy and I've recovered. And that was weighing on my mind as well, with the weight gain and feeling horrible. I didn't want that to happen. I wanted to find a healthy way to be a normal weight. That's all I wanted. And it took 2 years to figure it out, but I finally figured it out. Another disclaimer, I am not a dietitian. I am not a personal trainer. I would recommend that you consult your physician before ever trying any diet or any physical activity. I am just going to share what has worked for me and what I will continue to do. And yeah. So once again, it all comes back down to self-love. And I made a video about how to glow up before. If you haven't watched it, I recommend watching it, because in that video, I talk a lot about the mental aspects of the glow up and even the spiritual aspects of the glow up. And I'm a very spiritual person, so just take that into consideration when I'm telling you all that I've done to lose 20 pounds. And essentially, like, it all starts from within, right? Like, the amount that you love yourself is going to be in proportion to the way that you feel and the way that you're perceived as well. Your confidence is your first layer. And so really loving yourself helps you show up more authentically. It helps radiate this compassionate, loving aura, and it helps extend that love and compassion that you have for yourself out to other people. It helps attract love and friendships, and it's literally the best tool to manifesting your dream life. So it took me years to get to the point of self-love that I'm at today. It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of rewiring the way that you think and your thought patterns and the way that you show up in the world, the behaviors that you engage in, like gossiping and stuff like that. So that was a huge thing for me, was making sure that I maintain this level of self-love throughout the process. Never did I want to shame myself or, fall back into bad patterns and toxic thought patterns. This isn't, I feel like everybody who pitches a diet or something is like, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change, but it really is, because it's something that needs to be maintained and something that needs to be consistent. The, diets that are super restricting and the workouts that are so physically intense that you can't keep up with it, they're not going to last. And you're going to fall right back into the cycle, and you're going to feel shame. You're going to feel self-hatred, and you're going to keep asking yourself, why can't it work for me? It's because it's not designed to work for anybody. It's designed to keep you consuming into this huge market of weight loss and self-hatred, because they can sell you products to make you feel better about yourself, but it all comes from within. And I'm thinking about the people who use Ozempic who don't have diabetes, and no shame to you if you do. Like, everybody, sometimes you need that extra help, but my thing is like, before I'm gonna start taking things like that, I'm gonna practice discipline, and I'm gonna try to do it on my own. And that's just my mentality. I have strong willpower, I will admit, but discipline is like a muscle. It's something that you have to flex over and over and over again. It gets stronger the more that you work on it and the higher weights that you use, right? So for me, I really had to cultivate that discipline. And I started the year by writing down my goals and creating a path to those goals for myself. But like I said before, the goals have to be realistic in order for you to see success. And if you come from a background of being disordered, then your goals might look drastically different than what they used to be, It's like baby steps. But once again, talking about the spiritual aspect of it, I truly believe that when you put in an inch, the universe will provide the mile. Like, you will see such rapid results just from taking the initiative and saying that you want a different life for yourself, and overall you want it to be focused on your health, and you want it to be something for you to be healthy, to show up better for others, and to feel better in your body rather than, what it looks like or comparing yourself to others. It goes without saying, you don't have to look a certain way to be loved. You don't have to be a certain weight to be loved. And you certainly don't need to compare yourself to others or try to be somebody else to be loved. You are perfect as you are, no matter what you look like, no matter who you are, no matter what you show up as. You are perfect and you are loved. And I guess that's my rant to just start off this journey that I set up for myself, because I knew that I wanted it to not be about being skinny, but to be healthy and to feel better in my body, to have more energy, to be able to sleep better, to get my hormones under control, and to really just show up as the best version of myself rather than losing weight. I don't even think I'm that skinny now. It's not about that. It's about the person that you want to become and how that person shows up in the world. And overall, you want to be healthy. You want to focus on your health and just remove that extra layer of not self-hatred, but I guess that burden that you feel of something's not right in my body and I need to fix it. And I need to take health into my own hands. And so that's what I did. And this is what I did to do that. So back to my story, it was January 2023, and I made that decision that something needed to change. And there was other circumstances in my life where I realized that I wasn't living the life that I wanted to live. And like, weight aside and health aside, like, I saw a vision of my life and where I was at the moment, and it wasn't aligning. I realized that I wasn't fulfilled at all. And so then I went on this whole journey to just, I guess, find myself, but also to really figure out what I want out of life and who I want to become and what I want to be. And honestly, losing weight was just a side effect of that. It was a side effect of showing up for myself. And spiritual side of things was I got a Moldavite crystal. If you haven't watched my Moldavite videos, please check them out. They're very entertaining. I got a Moldavite crystal. I think this was, at this point, was like January or February 2024. So it was just about a year of like no success with working out, with dieting. I got a Moldavite crystal and it really inspired me to just change my whole life, like upheaval my whole life and just start over. And like, once again, I realized like, this isn't the life I want to live. I want to live a different life, and I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna set up my goals and I'm just gonna fucking do it. So the first major catalyst that I had towards weight loss was, I've been telling myself for a very long time that I wanted to get back into yoga. And I used to do yoga all the time, but I stopped after COVID because my favorite yoga studio closed down. So I went online and I found a hot yoga studio near me. And I finally, I was telling myself, I'm gonna go. And then finally I just went there and I just wandered in, stumbled into a hot yoga class that was Kundalini focused. If you don't know what Kundalini is, maybe I could do a video on that, but it's basically this like serpent of energy that lies at your spine, the base of your spine. And it's really like an energetic channel that runs up and down your spine, but it lies dormant unless you activate it. And so I swear this yoga class was activating the Kundalini, and it was like inspiring me to have more energy and transform my life. And it was really hard at first. The flow itself was really hard, but the man who taught it, he taught the same sequence every single time. So I guess it was every Wednesday, I would go and I would show up and I would do the flow. And I just noticed I started feeling so much more energized. I started feeling so much better, and like, I can't explain it, but it really felt like it was helping me to find the motivation to transform my life. Also, yoga in general, I guess it's the philosophy of yoga, because yoga in itself is a workout, right? A lot of people see it as a workout, but the point of yoga is the spiritual side. It's about the breathing, it's about the meditation, and it's about the mind-body connection. So after doing this yoga flow a bunch of times every Wednesday for several months, I thought to myself, almost like in a moment of inspiration, I thought I should do a yoga teacher training, which is something that I always said to myself that I would do. I just never did it. So I asked the instructor, and he said they do their trainings they open it up in August. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. When I was in the eating disorder mentality, I hated yoga because I felt like I wasn't getting a good enough workout. And I felt like if I wasn't doing a high intensity interval training workout, then I wasn't doing enough. Like, I needed to be like sweating, heart pumping, miserable, like dying in order to get the benefit of that workout. So I tried yoga when I was in high school and I hated it. I was like, this isn't doing anything. Like, what is the point? I started doing yoga in college, and it was just something I did like in the morning, but then I'd do a more rigorous workout at night. But this time it was different. I did yoga and I actually understood the meaning, and I felt a shift in me, and I understood the principles of the mind-body connection and the breathing. Maybe it's because I was out of that eating disorder mentality, but I realized that it was always about that mind-body connection. So I didn't care. I didn't do yoga because I thought it was going to get me ripped. I did yoga because it's what I needed in my mind and in my body and in my spirit. In the philosophy of yoga, there are yamas and niyamas. Once again, maybe I'll do a video on these. I'm not going to get into them all now, but they basically are the philosophical code of yoga, and they help focus on your right actions and how you are internally and externally in the world. And really going over these philosophies helped me see a different relationship in myself and in life. So I know this is like a long-winded story to get to the point, because I know why you probably clicked on this video. And if you're still here with me, thank you for being here with me. But the long story short is that studying yoga helped me see a different relationship to it. And part of the yoga teacher training was I was doing yoga every single week, and I still am doing yoga every single week, sometimes multiple times a week. And then in between that, I was doing strength training to help me in my yoga practice. And nothing crazy, nothing high weights. I was just doing, I think the highest weight that I can get up to, like in my arms, is 10 pounds. And then with my legs is 40. I'm not that strong, but the point was to build up some strength in my muscles. I am the kind of person that was always very cardio heavy, because I'm like, okay, cardio burns fat. But I was neglecting the muscle building part of it, and then the flexibility part of it, and just all the things that yoga does for your body. I was also a Pilates princess, and I still am, to get the refined, smaller muscles. But with this combination, I dropped weight like that. So did becoming a yogi help me lose weight? Hell yeah, it did. But it's so funny because I came from the whole opposite side, where it was like I was trying to do the high intensity, and I was trying to do the hour-long like Pilates and, just cardio sessions and stuff like that, and it wasn't working. And that's because it was fucking my hormones up, and it was making my cortisol rise. It was making everything, my estrogen, I don't know what it was doing, but my testosterone was low. It was just really messing up my whole body, and I didn't even realize it. But when I finally took the time, ironically, to slow down and to focus on the tiny movements, to focus on the mind-body connection, and to really tap in, it was like a magical formula. So for the workout part of it, I was I'm still doing yoga once a week, and then I do strength training about 3 times a week, and I do cardio 3 to 4 times a week. So it just, once again, I also slow down my cardio. So sometimes my cardio is just walking for 30 minutes to an hour, like whatever I can fit in, just prioritizing movement, prioritizing my steps. And I didn't think I could do that. And ironically, it's what my body needed. Sometimes less is more. But strength training really helped to burn fat in the long term, and then cardio, say like 30 minutes of cardio, just really for your heart. Cardio is literally heart. So I wouldn't do cardio just to burn fat. I would do cardio just to make sure that your heart is healthy. Now let me get into some diet real quick. So I am plant-based, so I am mostly vegan, sometimes vegetarian, but I do not eat meat. And that's just a personal choice of mine, a spiritual choice. But so I really made an effort to remove a lot of sugars from my life. I still drink sugar in my coffee and I use honey. But otherwise, like, I really try to cut out like the candies and the cakes and stuff like that, only on special occasions. But I'm not strict with it. Like, I eat cookies whenever I want, sort of thing. Like, it's just more of a, once again, a health standpoint. If, you know, it's somebody's birthday party, back in my ED days, I would freak out and be like, I can't have that, I can't have that. But now it's like, a cookie's not going to kill me, sort of thing. But it's just like mindful choices. Mindfulness is really the key to weight loss, I believe, but overall health. And when weight loss is a part of health, even better. Another crazy thing of mine is that I eat when I'm hungry. Imagine that. But people who have struggled with eating disorders before probably know that you really are disconnected from your hunger cues. So that was my life and that was my reality. I would just try not to eat when I was hungry, but now it's like, if I'm hungry, I'm gonna grab a snack, like nuts or fruit or, you know, whatever I want to have as a snack. And that helps me to not go crazy at lunch, because like I would just say, like, between breakfast and lunch, I'm like dying for a snack, I'm so hungry, and I deprive myself of that. And then lunch, I just consume my food super quickly, and then I'm still hungry after I eat, and I have these huge portions, when really I could have just had a snack in between, and my blood sugar levels wouldn't be completely depleted and would stay consistent, and I wouldn't be fiending for my lunch. So if you're hungry, just eat a snack. Allow yourself the opportunity to eat a snack. And just always, I got into the habit of just always keeping a snack on me so that I don't get hangry and I don't go crazy. All right, let me get into some real tea here. Okay, herbs, herbal supplements. I am a certified herbalist, but please do not just take these herbs just because I recommended them. Please consult your physician or somebody who knows you best, like if you have your own practicing herbalist or something like that, because I do not know what medications you may currently be on or what kind of allergies you may have. So make sure you check all of that before just taking herbs on a whim, because some of the herbs have contraindications that you may not be aware of. Okay, so the herbs that I took that have drastically helped me lose weight. Number one is fenugreek. Fenugreek helps to stabilize your hormones. It has so many benefits. It's amazing for the female reproductive system. If you have late or missed periods, it can really help with that. And it can help with female assigned at birth hormones. It is also incredible for stabilizing blood sugar levels. So I usually take fenugreek at lunchtime, like with my lunch, just to help stabilize my blood sugar. And, you know, because when you hit that, sometimes lunchtime, like you just get that heavy, I would always get a heavy feeling, and it really helps with that. I also take holy basil in a tincture form at lunchtime. And not only does that help to reduce stress, but it also can help with stabilizing blood sugar and stabilizing hormones. I take L-lysine at night, and that helps with the metabolism, but it also helps with like the immune system. I take that at night and I swear by it. I think that it's magical and helps. And then in the morning, I take a tablespoon of noni juice, which is an acquired taste for sure. But I've been doing this for years because noni juice has a lot of antioxidant properties and it's just really good for you. But I've heard people say that it can be good for the weight loss portion of it. I can't attribute it. I just really take it because I feel like it makes my skin and body radiant. I take a tablespoon of aloe vera juice. That has a lot of amazing benefits too, but I mainly take that for the hormones and the female reproductive system. And I also take Irish sea moss, just a tablespoon, and just for the nutrients my body needs. And it has been said to help lose weight. And yeah, so those are the main things that I take to help in that portion of the space. And I think those are the main points that have helped me to lose 20 pounds. Really, it's nothing crazy. It's not like this formula that is like you have to starve this much and then over work out this much. It's really not. It's small changes in my body that have helped me to get to this point. And it's all because of health. I wouldn't have chosen those herbs or that, yoga or anything or strength training for anything other than my health, my mind, body, and spirit's health. So all of these things have helped for me, and I'm still on this journey. I am not even at the point that I want to be at, but I am so happy and grateful that I am at this point. And I'm just, I'm not controlled by it. I'm not consumed by it. And that's the point. I'm going to keep doing my yoga. I'm going to keep taking my herbs, and I'm just going to keep living healthy life. Life is too short to be focused on how thin you are, or, oh, I'll wear that when I'm this weight, or I'll go here and I'll do this when. No, go out now. Your life is worth living now. And so that's my PSA. And I'm really sorry about my rant earlier, but I think it needs to be said. It's so important. I've been there, done that with the whole starving yourself and overworking out, and I lost a lot of weight that way, and guess what? I gained it all back and then some. So it's just so much better to just take those baby steps and focus health oriented lifestyle change, and then you'll get to where you want to be. Well, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching this video. It means a lot to me. It is hard to be vulnerable on the internet, but I'm doing it and I'm showing up. So if you made it this far, please drop a comment, drop a heart, drop a like, and if you feel called to, subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. I love you so much, and bye.